Whoa, ho, ho! Hey guys, welcome to the start of the stream. This is definitely the first time we've gone live today, and no issues with restarting. I hope you're all having a great afternoon, evening, or morning where you're from, and welcome to the road to Dreamhack Atlanta. Today we're going to be No, I've already been through this. We unfortunately did have that hiccup through stream, but all should be good. And as stated, there was no actual time loss. Just like a 2-minute delay was created between us and you guys, and you can figure out the timey-wimey science stuff. Anyways, we got MaSa in the lobby. Abyssal Reef. Wow, we didn't see this map at all today.
That's correct. It was vetoed.
Not just vetoed, like removed. But okay.
Yes, that is.
The road to Dreamhack Atlanta begins here in the round of 8 with True and MaSa. Ready whenever they are.
Alrighty.
Of course, it's not just a double day of casting, guys. It's a cast into a cast into a cast. And quick reminder that tomorrow morning, almost 11 and a bit hours from now, we'll be going live with BTSL Season 5 Finals. Woo!
Yay! Casts on casts on casts. Oh, lordy.
And maybe racks on racks on racks. Spawning here in the top left side of Abyssal Reef. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the North American hero, the Canadian asterisk, Blue Terran MaSa.
And the bottom right has the Red Zerg. It is True.
He is truly going to have to deal with a proxy.
Oh.
Now, what's interesting is this, I feel like a lot of these Terran barracks are how to phrase is like cycling through phases. Like back in the day, you would do proxy 2 racks or 3 racks or whatever, and it was only Marines and nothing else. Then Reapers became popular, and then we saw them become popular at home with 3 barracks, and now we're kind of back to this opening that involves the Marines and the bunker and the slightly early push, I suppose you could call it.
Yeah, we're back to 2 racks, which, I don't know, it sounds cool. 2 racks always had a ring to it, whereas 3 or 4 racks, I don't know. Never quite did. The 2 racks isn't about necessarily doing as much damage as possible with the Marines. Like,
no,
actually
it's about
winning the
showing
game.
domination and your alpha status in the pack.
I don't know if that's what it's about either. But it is about ideally killing a hatchery while getting a safe expand behind. Slow, but safe with a factory.
I guess that's an acceptable alternative answer. If this was Jeopardy, they would be forced to take that answer.
I don't know how it works when the answer is questionable in Jeopardy. I don't watch enough of it.
Well, actually, all the questions are questionable because they have to form it in the form of a question.
That's a good one. Good one.
What is getting served?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I asked a question and you're just like you answered and you're like slap down.
I like to imagine.
Question.
Have you seen some of those fail answers? Trebek, I feel like, does the equivalent of a slam dunk, Space Jam style, and people who give like really dumb answers.
No. The only thing I've seen recently, I think, is like the GIF.
Whoa.
That's like I don't remember. It was Johnny Applesauce.
Johnny Applesauce. Yes, that was another one of the good ones.
Yeah, so this is not too common to see the drones pulled like this.
But this is an interesting way to get the same mission accomplished here. They're cutting off the reinforcements. Unfortunately, it's not before they get in the bunker, so this is not the best way to go about it. But True kind of found himself in a bad situation, is trying to make the best of it. I applaud it, but I think 3 bunkers, well, at least 2, still might be a little bit difficult to deal with here. No repair on the first bunker, though. Starts running to the other one, salvages immediately.
Yeah, that one's trying to get a repair, but this is actually being dealt with very well.
Yeah, I thought with that drone pull, True's just like, oh crap, I'm up shit creek without a paddle.
Well, apparently not. He deals with it perfectly fine. And it's a good thing that you do get the factory back at home, because MaSa is going to probably need some Hellions to help deal with the Lings that are going to be running around. Of course, he did get his command center on the high ground, but it is a delayed command center, and it's going to take a while. The whole point is that you deal damage, and then your protective follow-up
position
is still worth because you did damage.
I actually don't like they started backing away from this. I think he had more surface area reduced by that little choke on the ramp, but either way, trades out for a decent amount of Lings. Not great for MaSa, though. Ultimately, this not a success.
No, it wasn't. starport now on the way as well. I mean, the Hellions will help take care of the early game risk of these Lings, and I would say that it's maybe unlikely that choosing to try and Baneling Bust because he did deal with this so well. Like, why choose a Baneling Bust over just droning and taking a macro game? So that's the good news for MaSa, but the bad news is that a macro game is going to be like super, super difficult, and he's got to get something done. And I'm not sure that Hellion Banshee or Hellion Drops or it's Viking apparently, whatever, is actually going to do anything more after this.
I like the Viking actually. I really don't think there's fear that True's gonna do like a Nidus Worm in response or something. But just we've recently been seeing these Vikings rack up more than the typical 2 to 3 Overlords. And one game not too long ago, I don't remember who, maybe it was Gumiho, had like 9 or 11 kills on it. It was insane. So I've fallen in love with the idea of the Viking quite a bit. Also, we've got Therminator coming to chat saying he was hoping he'd still be the boss. You were, dude. You were until like 30 seconds before we restarted the stream, and Dub slew you. He brought a bomb to the party, too.
That's not right. Well, alright, it's going to be a medevac after that Viking. And, I mean, except like Hellion drops, I suppose, could happen, and maybe they get a couple of kills, but they really shouldn't get very much. And, of course, any Marine drops would be like kind of a wet noodle without stim, and of course, combat shields too, but definitely without stim.
Well, good scout from the Overlord. Gonna confirm MaSa's not doing anything too weird like mech. Which has kind of been working its way into the matchup. Trickling down from Gumiho to the rest of the Terrans out there. As he spreads his benevolent mecha love.
That feels like what happened.
Oh, but this Hellion pickup to drop in the main is kind of cool. I mean, it should be dealt with. But there's a chance this gets away quite a few kills. And this is where that Viking ends up being pretty slick, because it cleared the way. No Overlords, no vision. True's only going to see this as it arrives.
This could be quite a number of drone kills. Actually, a lot more than I thought it would.
As the Lings come in too, the medevac can always pick up these Hellions in the front lines. Yeah, take them over to that third, where you know a transfer of drones is en route.
Yeah. I mean, 10 drones is good and all, and that's, you know, thankfully something, but the pace is still not as thrown off as it should be, as if he had gotten, you know, the hatchery kill. So, you know, great. You reduced it to now you're only down 8 workers, and with 2 mules, almost 3 mules, it's really not that bad, but still only about halfway down the sim. Need more drones, though.
Yeah, he accidentally blocked out the extractor save he was trying to do on that one drone. That was kind of cool to see.
Yeah. Great.
Keeping that medevac alive is actually pretty impressive. We see that thing get picked off a lot through these attacks.
One of the more impressive Hellion drops I've seen, not just as a follow-up, but just as, like, in general. I don't know what the second Viking is for. That seems... I guess it's actually just defending against the mutas. You know, anything helps. Although he's not getting missile turrets in the natural.
Well, who needs missile turrets when you got 2 Vikings?
Yeah, I guess so.
Watch out, these are the best anti-air a man could ask for.
They are effective defensively. So.
Have we seen any pros use the new skin for them, by the way? I think they look so cool.
Oh yeah, but not as many as I thought. I thought they looked pretty cool too.
I mean, in games we've cast, I know like Innovation and stuff streams with it, but we've never seen them like have that on for like a Lima League example.
I'm pretty sure I've seen at least one person with it, but I don't know. I don't keep track.
I do like the way it looks. Third base for MaSa gets sent over with relative ease. There's an Overlord to be picked off here. I realize that too. Yeah,
a little bit dangerous. We just be a bait with Vikings.
Yeah, and the concern is there is not really a turret up. And the worst part is like not even the turret for the middle line, but the engineering base could easily be picked off if there's enough mutas.
Yeah. True's starting off with 9, which is a respectable count, but not quite enough to start killing buildings, so I doubt it's going to happen. And there are Widow Mines otherwise covering the SCVs, but they do go to the third base.
Well, they don't call it a murder of mutalisks for no reason.
No one really calls it that, but they should.
Well, I mean, it's a murder of crows, so
right.
A murder of mutalisks totally works.
A flock of seagulls, though.
A business of apes.
Which one's correct? This is before 1-1 combat shields. The mutas. It looks like one of mine might pop off. I don't even know how to use this.
Side note, Twitch chat. What's it called? There's actually a really funny name for when there's a lot of meerkats together. Can someone Google that? Oh no, I can't remember what that one is. That's a good one too. But okay, without the Widow Mines and without proper support, these banelings, even off creep, a lot of danger for MaSa. Coming from the backside with these Hellions, though, is going to be nice. Those can soak the hits, keep the Marines alive, and that Dream lives on through those Marines.
Not bad. There is still a Widow Mine, rather. I guess the other one was taken out. Oh, the other one.
Oh, well, that makes the Mutas worth diving in, though, when everything's at 1 health. Oh, my God.
Yeah, right? Widow Mine, please. Alright, so the Mutas mostly live. He's already replacing them, and 4 more are added. He's on his way to 2-2, whereas MaSa has been stalled out a little bit with losing that SCV on the armory earlier. But it is a closer game than they give it credit for. But MaSa's definitely still in a very difficult spot. He's got to clear up all this creep, and he still has to deal with Mutas counterattacking.
Yeah, normally the creep's not this foreboding, but as he comes back, he can't be burning scans on said creep. He's got to basically drop mules to replace all these SCVs he keeps losing.
Yeah.
Oh, Widow Mines again! Are you for real?
Yeah,
MaSa has the
ever.
worst Widow Mines this game. You know the worst part is it doesn't even show up in some of the kills. This is far more kills than it actually shows because of the friendly fire.
Yeah. 20 SCVs and they'll swoop and the Mutas and the Lings both survive. Like, a lot of them get out of there. That's what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
MaSa just like, ideally for a Terran, they are keeping the Mutas back by actually pressuring the bases, but he just is not getting the opportunity.
And I mean, one Widow Mine misfire, that's like to be expected per game. To have 2 in such rapid succession affect your SCVs of all things, that's brutal.
That is. I mean, these Widow Mines have all been placed around trying to like scare True, but so far only one at a time is really getting hits, and that's just not scaring him from being aggressive.
She's just like, thanks for the help, bro. Like, appreciate it.
Yeah, so far. Yeah. 1 or 2 Mutas. Definitely worth how many SCVs he's gotten killed. I mean, MaSa is in such a bad spot momentum-wise and pressure-wise.
Oh, well, that was a better one. But
that did help a little, but that he doesn't even have the rocks broken on Abyssal. Like, those should already be broken, and it's gonna take forever now.
Yeah, that Widow Mine was like a Tylenol for a broken limb. Like, it helps, but not that much.
Dropping the main is a valiant effort, I guess, too. He did know where the Mutas were, but it's only 1, and it's being cleaned up.
Oh, it's just so sad to watch happen.
Yeah. Oh, True is now... This is actually what I was expecting, True up 60 supply. It's a bit faster than the upgrades. His Muta count could probably get out of control here really soon. He's going to have +2 on them, too. Just really controlling everything. And MaSa... Yeah, I don't think he has actually a long-term plan here. He did get a second factory, but still no drilling claws. Still no Thor production. Like, how would he afford that? And no 4th CC.
Not choosing to repair the missile turret. Interesting choice there. It pulls the SCVs back and keeps them alive from the Mutas, but obviously the turret goes down. That kind of sucks too. Yeah. But you know what? Good thing True's not being a dingus 710 because he is pulling back smartly. Thank you for that Twitch Prime sub.
Yeah. Well, I think MaSa's choice, only choice, is to play a longer game. So 4 CC even on location. I don't know about that, but definitely 4 CC. The Mutas are actually getting out of control though. He needs the greatest Widow Mine shot to carry down those numbers. Oh, he pre-canceled that, feeling it was just going to be taken down anyway. Oh well.
Yeah, builds a new one over here. I don't blame him, because these are kind of exposed. I really didn't like the positioning on these engineering bases in the first place. I don't know why they'd be over here.
Definitely just a panic move. I mean, MaSa had to deal with so much so early on. He hasn't even actually won off the base.
Widow Mines are having such trouble even finding a target. It's like, oh, for some reason my sensors are telling me to shoot a Zergling, but I know I want a friendly fire, so... let's just not detonate at all. This is the end. GG. Well, that was a very great game 1 for True. Not so hot for MaSa. I'm a little bit worried for MaSa, actually. His TvZ, granted, it's versus Koreans, so you're measuring this against some of the best players in the world. But whether it's True or whether it's Leenock, as we saw in Gameland, MaSa's TvZ is not exactly perfect right now. And for a player who I hold to a really high regard, I'm hoping he can make a comeback in this series.
Yeah. Also, like, it looks like just a lot of people, I don't know, Leenock and Killazur are also MIA.
I can poke Kelazur and Leenock, I guess.
I poked Leenock on Skype. I mean, he's not even busy, but nothing happens. Womp womp. Congratulations, you stayed the longest, you win.
That's kind of what it's going to boil down to, which could be depressing. Peely Peely might actually have a walkover to the finals, theoretically.
Polar.
All right, well, I poked Kelazur on Skype. Hopefully get some assistance here. But hey, guys, while this is going on, we have the cooldown coming up in about 4 minutes for both the zombie apocalypse and the arena. So I'm going to, like, oh, I know this is such an enticing reward. I'm just saying, whoever the next bit boss is, I'll let you pick. We can either fight the zombie apocalypse or we can go for a giant arena battle. I'm actually I like the arena battle one a lot more, personally.
I don't know what I like more because I haven't done very good in either of them, so...
I know. I've at least won the arena once. The zombie apocalypse, though, I have died 100% of the time.
Yeah, exactly. Either one.
Well, folks, we're getting into game number 2. Yeah, it's already looking a little bit dicey for our Terran. But this guy leads 1-0, playing for Psystorm Gaming and repping that blue. It's true.
Hey, rhymes. In the top right, as the Red Terran, he is MaSa.
Okay, I know this is a stretch, but he's true, he's blue, his teammate is Gumi Who.
That is a bit of a stretch. I really like the idea, you know, the execution.
I love how Gumiho is actually kind of a cool name, objectively. Like, the word is just fun to say. It's a good word. But if you add one extra O in the end, it becomes really silly. Like, Gumiho. Oh my god, it's Gumiho.
I was going to say, like, anything, kind of add an O to anything, and it's already kind of right. Like, Jacko, Rifkino.
El Barto.
Yeah, but, no, I always thought Gumiho was kind of a, like, it kind of perfectly fits him because I think it is kind of a cute word. Like Gumi, like gummy, like Gumiho, like, I mean, it's kind of cute, right? It's like anything with an M, I feel, is kind of already, I don't know, just a cute word. But then the meaning of it, right, is kind of cool, so there's actually a lot of power to it, which I think sums up Gumiho. He's actually a very cute person, you know, personalities, and like exactly the most fearsome person in the world, but then you play him in StarCraft, and suddenly he's super scary.
I was thinking of it the other way around, too. Like, let's say you never heard of him before. You misheard what someone said. You're like, Gumi who? Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Perfect.
That'd be perfect, actually. If I was a gamer, if I was a pro gamer, I would make my gamer tag, what's his face?
I always, I made a joke about calling our team, you know, Mike Jigger, but I don't know how much Shisa would like that.
I also feel like Mike Jigger, it's a funny phrase, but not used all that often, in all honesty. But how many times have you been like, oh, what's his name? What's his face?
I've certainly said, what's his name? Times I say, what's his face, though, is kind of more ironic, I suppose, than it is actually what I'm trying to say.
Actually, what's his name would be so great. Like, introducing the player. At the bottom right, what's his name? It's true.
Yeah, there you go. And then, like, if they're actually doing well in a tournament, people can chant their name, right?
What's his name? What's his name?
Nice.
Okay, one of us needs to get good at a game and choose that name for the tag, alright?
Okay, let me just choose a game real quick to get good at. What's a game that no one plays? Heroes of New Earth. I had to finish that sentence because I realized Heroes said two things, although both are fine.
Ooh. Ooh, girl.
Snap. Anyway. Yeah, standard build here, Hellion into looks to be Banshees. Starport positioning is right next to that barracks, so that's what I'm thinking.
Hey, nice job, Zombie Grub.
I mean, it could still be a Raven.
I don't know, dude.
Give me Banshee, give me. No, it's a Viking. What the hell, man? What the hell?
Okay, so first off, you're the most wrong you could be. That's excellent. But secondly, the Viking's actually kind of a cool idea for the Banshee. ideally here True would see a Banshee coming, right? So if you actually snipe off the Overlords and make this look standard, then pull up with a Banshee, it's kind of unexpected, because I don't believe many Zerg against Terran will just throw down Paranoia Oracle or Spore Crawlers like you would against an Oracle, right?
Sure, yeah. I think maybe on some maps you would throw down one, like for instance in Proxima, I think you throw down one in the main or something like that, because Liberators are also a thing. But I feel like Defender's Landing is getting close. Like if it's in another map pool, I feel like it would maybe be one of those Paranoia maps, because I think one, in a TvZ, Terran's expecting the Zerg to be aggressive with Lings or Roaches, so a factory opener is, you know, it's already good, but also very safe. It's mech, by the way. But then for the Zerg side, it is a lot of the time Hellion Banshee, because it's a very safe opener, so the mech's gonna be a bit of a surprise.
There's pros and cons to this. First off, I think mech is quite strong when handled correctly, and I really love where it's at in the matchup now. I didn't think the minor Thor tweak would be that much, but it seems to have changed the dynamic of the matchup quite a bit. The problem is, though, while we oftentimes will openly mock the way a lot of Korean Zergs handle mech, because it is funny to watch them do it, what is, in my opinion, inefficiently, True is not your typical Korean here. He's been living in the muck, if you will, playing against players like Avillo and others who are famous for this style. Like, he's not going to be confused when approaching it like we've seen other Korean pros, because not a lot of Koreans played mech until most recently, at least not since HOTS.
Well, I think the biggest difference is that, and I mean, I guess, you know, in before they say this is the NA server in general, right? But the mech from the Koreans, right? Gumiho first, but a lot of them now, it's really good. Like, they have some really nice timings. They have, of course, the perfect mechanics, whereas NA mech, while it's been more consistent because NA has more styles, I think, it's also not as good, right? But where's MaSa sit? I actually don't know very much. You know, he talked a little bit about his overall performance, I guess, before we started this game. But where's his mech performance? Like, I don't know. But apparently he's playing the Thor drop, start with the Hellions style, and that can be annoying to deal with, like the more aggressive mech instead of the really, really passive one. So it's dangerous. There are mutas.
You guys saw absolutely god-awful observing just now, missing things dying. That's because I was confirming with one of the main sponsors of the event, Matcherino. The new code is Dream 2. It's up and running now. So that was a little unfortunate in terms of what you guys missed, because Rifkin had to do two things at once. But Dream 2 now works.
Hey.
Now this is going to be really cool. The Thor drop, the double Thor drop. Actually, how many drones died earlier? 8. So the bar is actually not that high for what he needs to kill here. But still, 2 Thor drops can get away with a lot. It'll ward off mutas. Lings don't do so well. Queens especially don't do jack squat with their new armor. Banelings will not be helpful. Oh no. Oh no, this is problems. For both sides, actually. There's no anti-air at home either.
Well, yeah, so this is actually a little bit funky.
Well, he's got 2 Thors popping shortly, but
he's actually going for, like, what could have been quadruple Thor drops, which is not like usually how you do Thors.
He's going to waste them on the Thor. He has to, but this isn't going to do anything to him.
Yeah, this is very awkward. I mean, I think that getting Banelings is not so uncommon versus mech, because you think about Hellbats as an opener, but this is clearly weird.
Oh no, he's going to drop the... Oh. He messed up. He messed up big time. It's going to cost him.
Yeah, losing Thor, man, that's pretty bad.
Losing the medevac on top of that as well, just like double layers of awful. But that Thor could have helped with a Viking fend off the rest of the mutas. Kind of mistakes made here. That medevac's got to be very precise with what it does, because once that boost runs out, the mutas will catch up. He's going to meet up with the rest of his Thors, though, and try and hopefully hold on with this. Oh, not a problem.
Brutal. MaSa looks like he might just win with this push even. Like, True does not have that big of a bank
oh my God.
here.
That Thor's 3
He's
health.
trying to go into Roaches after figuring out what type of style this is going to be, but did it make it too late?
Praise be to the bonus armor that kept that Thor alive with 3 health.
Yeah, right? This is where the Banelings would be useful with all those Hellbats stacked up on each other, but they're gone.
I want him to drop a mule so badly and just start repairing. That medevac, too, has 1 health. It's the lowest health army units, but he is keeping them in the back at the very least. I think you're right. This push might just be a little bit much. True, looking to just be SOL right now.
Yeah. Not the proper preparation, not the proper order of things either. Like, the mutas could have helped initially with the Thors if they had caught them in transit.
Is this Thor going to see the end of the game?
It's the one thing True needs to kill, and then he can fuck out.
Okay, he actually losing the Roach Warren was pretty bad on its own, but losing a speed upgrade moments before finishing, these roaches can't really counterattack. They're gonna slowly waddle across the field. This actually didn't really touch the drone lane though, interestingly enough. So credit to True, he holds on, and MaSa loses a pretty large stake of his army. I don't think MaSa's in any immediate danger, but that didn't really do any economic damage.
No, it certainly killed a lot of the army and had a lot of momentum to it. Again, just going back to, I guess, the pacing of the game, MaSa is not the fear for his life being overrun by roaches or Ling Baneling Yuta. He can calmly get to a 4th base, pretty calmly anyway. He doesn't quite know about the swarm hosts, and they could certainly, they can take out production. They could try and cancel that 4th CC, depending on where they go. I imagine towards the production, but I don't know. 6 of them is not too bad to deal with initially. Hellions might even accidentally see them because they're going across the same path to the right.
It's the 4 Thor eyesore drop.
It's not an eyesore, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's beautiful if you're Terran. It's an eyesore if you're Zerg, though.
Damn.
Usually the rule of thumb is lots of units, regardless of type, will beat out Thors, but good gravy.
True just doesn't have a lot of units, He unfortunately is banking a lot.
Oh, he saved the Thor!
Even as he spent his money, it still wasn't that impressive of a Roach army.
Oh, come on. Show us that beautiful micro MaSa. He's gonna focus down the layer. This is so sick.
Yeah, he's gonna get it.
This is so gross.
We're not scouted, by the way. The timing was a little awkward.
But, he miscontrols them. He pulls. Was this an F2? Did he just F2 back home? The Locust come flying with it, and they miss all opportunity. They've got no life left. They're not going to be able to land anywhere. 2 unsieged tanks picking off some of the swarm hosts in the middle of the map, too. Oh, True may have just panicked in the worst way he could have.
Yeah, to be honest, the Locust, maybe they get a couple of factory kills, but MaSa's clearly already, in a great position to push and win. I mean, the Thors are very, very low. Actually, he could lose so much army supply in a blink of an eye. He's not going to. I know.
3 of those Thors are basically one-shot range. Oh, my gosh. Well, the tanks are going to help make sure that doesn't go down too easily, but he picks them up. I don't care about the rest of the game. I'm invested in these Thors.
Hellions got into the natural, a little bit into the 3rd base too, so a lot of drones went down.
I think the bigger story for this, though, all silliness with the Thors aside, is the swarm hosts have not really had any effect. And they were on cooldown before. The wave of Locusts didn't do much because they went back to the mineral lines to defend. It's such a small army out of MaSa, but so powerful.
Yeah.
Oh no! The supply block here is going to be savage.
I guess all the queens.
He actually doesn't have money. He can't afford to replace these overlords, Zombie Grub.
There's only 1 queen. She's gonna take a while to chip at this.
He's actually gonna kill so many overlords. Oh my god! How many dead so far? 15! 15 overlords!
Well, I think both games so far have gone on longer than they should.
I concur. The Locust finally getting something done here. True. Okay, GG. The Thors lived. All 4 of the Thors lived to the end of the game.
Forever.
They live. Thor ever in my heart. All right. Commercial break real quick, guys. 2 minutes. We come at you with game number 3, the deciding match. We'll see you soon. Okay, nope. Hold up. I almost spoke too soon. There we go. We're back. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to address this issue real quick. Several of you are reporting seeing some frame drop issues, some lag on stream, so to speak. I see that too on my broadcast. We're at 3,000 frames dropped, and there should be none. We had a smooth as heck broadcast this morning and nothing's changed. But as I said earlier, when we went live, all the servers are in the red. There's something going on Twitch's side. But Zombie Grub is close to the Korean server, so there might be something better there. If by the end of this game we drop more frames, we'll look into possibly swapping over who's broadcasting. But I'm hoping that we don't have to. At any rate, getting into game number 3. Spawning in the bottom left, it is going to be the blue Terran player. Elevates MaSa. Cheeky.
Yeah, and the top right, as the red Zerg, it is Storm Gaming's True.
So one thing I find really interesting, just a small side story about these openers people are doing. There's a player, he kind of had some infamy around him, but I never really knew whether it was legitimate or not. So forgive me as I reference him here, but HTO Mario back in the day was the guy who would do this build. Not the same way of what it's evolved to now, but he'd do the 2 to 3 barracks on the opening with a supply depot, and he'd go for a fast command center behind it. Then he'd play mech and turtle up and whatever for the bases. It's kind of cool to me, though, because I remember specifically a lot of people would mock the way he would open. And now we have a lot of players doing a 3-Rex Reaper that encompasses all those principles. So it's just, I bring this up to say, like, no matter whether you're a good player, bad player, great player, small player, like, it's cool to see that, like, clearly at some point your builds might not be the wrong ones. They might just be the wrong ones at that time.
I guess it's like being an artist. Only when you're dead, your work is really prized.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
It's only worth
missing your opportunity. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that was a name that was kind of from the past. I don't really remember his infamy or whatever. I do remember the name though, and something happened. I don't remember what.
There's many somethings that happened. We'll leave it at that. But. Are you going or am I? I'm waiting here.
You.
Okay. Well, as we get past the awkward ums and ahs of the early game, the Reaper is not so unsurprising coming into play. These, I don't know. I'm not so impressed with MaSa's early game so far. His mech was the best game we've seen so far. And maybe it's because of the map. Maybe it's just because it's a once-in-a-while thing. But I would have liked to have seen it again out of him, I think.
Could happen. We did see we actually bring a mech from a other player. Those drones, they were just chilling. No, that wasn't crazy. There was saying there. Okay, well that was weird. A lot of lings now on the way, and they do safely go back to mining in the main, I suppose. Maybe that was the intention. Alright, yeah, whatever. A couple of queens, a lot of lings.
Oh boy.
Attempted counter.
Side note, we are still definitely seeing some drop frames here. So I'm going to... This won't pause the game. This won't interrupt the game. But I'm going to restart the stream on my side real quick, guys. Oh no, we're using a delay. I can't do that. That would cut out time. Okay, we're going to wait till after the game's done to restart things. So, I know you can still hear us. You can watch the slideshow. I'm sorry. There's literally nothing we can do about it, though. Not on the fly like this.
Okay, I heard something morphin'. It's not a baneling nest to make banelings.
No,
it's an overlord drop.
It's an interesting way to get over the wall, but I fear that once you do, the problem still persists where it's going to be possibly Reapers to deal with you. But MaSa doesn't see this coming, not from a mile. He doesn't have vision on that overlord at all, so his Reaper's now providing the pressure, and if True gets any breathing room to follow this up, he's going to be dropping.
Some decent trades, though, with these lings. That's still enough lings to not make MaSa suspicious as he trades with them there. There should be more, but I think these Reapers are going to see the lings. They are fortunately not microed enough, so they die. And there you go. Now I see it.
Oh, I feel when one grenade is on such a long cooldown now.
Yeah, but it's 4 Reapers at a time now. Like, I mean, the production's certainly there. I mean, it should be 5 soon.
He puts the SCVs inside the command center for safety. I love it. This is actually a really good defense out of MaSa. This would normally be building into like an orbital, and you wouldn't be able to do this.
True's trying to send all of his lings forward, but the Reapers met them. True might find this in a very awkward situation. MaSa might have gone for 5-Rax Reaper, but True is still not on a third base, so his production might be his main problem. I mean, MaSa might be on, these beginner units, but Reapers are deceptive, I guess, in their tiers. They can still be quite good in the mid game in high numbers.
Ew, what is this wiggling thing underneath the Overlord?
It's the penis.
I actually think we're looking at an Overlord penis right now. This is actually so gross.
I don't know. You gotta have like a rope to climb up, right?
Oh no! This is like the scary movie. That's like the first or second one where he's hanging off the cliff and the guy with the weird hand reaches out. It's like, take my hand, I'll save you. It's like, no, I'd rather die.
That was the second movie. It's so good.
That's what I'm thinking with Overlord drops now. Oh my god.
I feel like, Zerg doesn't really have a problem with anything too gross, though. I mean, they enter Nidus worms.
They jump into a giant butthole. You are correct.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of gross things about Zerg, so they're okay. They good.
Never thought we'd find something so lewd.
Is it only on the drop, Overlord?
You know, you might be right about that being a rope type thing, though. Like, all silliness and grossness aside, yeah, the regular overlords don't have the little... They don't have a dangling participle.
Well, what do they do? Do like the lings literally like dig their like claws into the rope to climb? They don't have opposable thumbs.
Grab onto my penis. Let's go on an adventure. Like...
Oh, God. Oh, okay, well, I didn't want to know. Didn't want to know, but now I know.
How's that that don't ask, don't tell policy work? Do we just apply that here?
It's been repealed, but sure.
Okay. We don't ask the Overlord, he doesn't tell. Easy peasy.
God.
Alright, well, moving on from that discovery.
Let's. So as I was mentioning, like True didn't have a third base. He still really doesn't. I mean, even if it's finalizing here, there's only 39 drones.
He's also going to finally have Carapace kicking in shortly, which will give him a much better shot at fighting against these Reapers. But MaSa has been relying a lot on bomb damage and not auto attacks so far, so we'll see how good that really is. Positioning was great for MaSa up to this point, but he gets fully surrounded. This is bad.
Yeah. Not paying attention for a second, otherwise he definitely could have out-microed those lings.
I agreed.
Definitely unfortunate. But True, like, okay, so his third base it's finally getting some drones. It was going to provide production at the very least, which he was going to need. He needs, actually. He's banking quite a lot. But that still has to really kick in, and MaSa is already on to the next step here. Third CC of his own already done. Probably going to match up with True's third, and double drops. He should maybe still try and do this. Of course, he doesn't know the lings are going across the map.
I mean, the thing is, though, it's lings. They can get a reactor here, maybe, at best.
That was raised. This is going to be some serious damage, though. Like, he just saw all the lings. That flyby in the back.
Focusing on the spawning pool.
Nicely done.
I believe True does not have a baneling nest, and he tried to put one down before the spawning pool died. That's why this drone here is a little bit idle. Missed his opportunity. So not only is the baneling nest now delayed, on top of this, the spawning pool shut down, cuts out production for a bit. I mean, True's going to have to bleed minerals because what else can he do? He can't build anything but queens right now. Queens and drones.
Terrible spot. Moss is going to have 1-1. Thank you to Blooples 86 for the Twitch Prime sub. Apples.
Look, Hello Zerglings figured it out. That's how the lings get into the Overlord.
I'm trying to look here. Oh God, yeah. Alright.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, exactly. MaSa is on his way to a 4th CC now. That's a little surprising. Walling off so that True's counterattacks don't actually throw him off. And still getting a lot of pressure. I mean, the good news is for True, I suppose, that his creep shot isn't really being touched because it's just been dropped to his main base. But these drops have been effective, so that's like, it's not a great consolation prize. Fourth is going to be killed. Cancelled.
Cancelled. Still just as bad as a kill at this point, though. Last thing you want to do as a Zerg be behind Terran when it comes to bases. Does pick off the siege tank here in the main. It does feel like MaSa dropping in the main is just like suicide for his units, but of course the drop in the main is not the focus. It's this push outside the natural.
It looks like there'll be enough lings. The upgrades are no longer outpacing True's. But yeah, as soon as MaSa stops dropping, well, solely dropping, I suppose. As soon as he actually gets a main attack, a main attack down the middle, I feel like he should win. There's going to be about 7 mutas, which is nice. And as I said, like decent creep spread.
Yeah, but one thing MaSa didn't have going forward into previous engagements here was climate shields. This is going to be really nice with the main force of the Marines here, but even with that extra health clustered against a lot of lings, the lings can still surround and win. Downside is, though, no matter how good this defense looks for True, there's a big army amassing on the other side, walking up the bottom right. We have a big worker lead for MaSa, and of course, well, I thought this 4th was just going to go to the safety 4th, but it actually goes really far forward. I like this a lot, actually. It's going to be a planetary with some turrets. This is a great defensive position.
Yeah, it might be a new plan to try and tackle Zerg on this map, but also might just be like the opportunity isn't granted him. Such a quick 4th and such great damage on True's side.
He knows that True can't really dedicate to attacks. He's so busy defending. Bases are going down. Hatchery's getting focused over here. Another base cancel on the left side. This is just too much for True to handle.
True is pretty dead. Unless the mute account can get to like 20, 25 and really start threatening MaSa's bases in production, he is just going to be stuck on 3 bases, continually defending, and that's not going to lead to a very good game.
Yeah. Again, guys, just addressing the fact that we are fully aware that there are drop frames. It's a Twitch server issue. We're looking to try and find an alternate solution after this game, but we'd rather not skip out on the game to do so. This is a pretty important one, too, because I feel like the winner of this actually has a really high chance. Like, both True and MaSa are big contenders to take the finals today.
Yeah, absolutely. Hero did 2-0 game time.
That's actually really sad. I like game time a lot.
Yeah. And the other semifinals already set up as well.
Yeah, Kelazur and Pili Pili showed up.
Yeah, Lenok, I don't know. I don't know where Lenok was.
Actually, for Lenok, maybe he chose not to tell us, but I remember the first qualifier he was in, he was concerned about having to pay for the full price of the ticket. He may have since been realized that he wouldn't be able to afford to or something. I don't know. But it would have been nice if you had let us know instead of just no showing. Risky, of course, chose to forfeit as well. Dreamhack Atlanta is apparently the same weekend as Counter-Strike Cup. I did not know that.
Yeah, that was recent. That was announced a week and a half ago, something like that. Esports announcements.
Well, it's closer than Germany, so I'll take it.
Well, this is not the only draw that's happening. Natural third base also under attack. We have double core production, a 5th CC, and 3-3-1 on the way for MaSa.
I love that he's already delved into Marauder production. Like, you're kind of like, oh, well, yeah, this is when Ultras would normally be on the way, but no, not this game. Not when you've been so economically deprived through constant losses of units, loss of life. Total 52 workers, almost 200 lings dead this game.
What? Kind of the reverse of that first game, I guess. MaSa almost doubling True supply, scans his ground.
Oh, God. The Thor is just volleying away on the mutas. GG, ladies and gentlemen, MaSa will take the series and move on to the semifinals, knocking True out of the competition. But keep in mind, one of the other side rewards, well, maybe you're not complimented with a hotel stay or money. The players who showed up today, so obviously no longer counting Risky or Lenog, or anyone that would show up to Atlanta that played in this tournament today would receive some seating so they would get through a little bit quicker to the tournament. But all right, folks, I don't know how this will work. We're going to try restarting one time with myself still streaming. If there's still drop frames after I've restarted, we'll try swapping over to Zombie Go, because it may just simply be a North American server issue, and maybe Herbing in South Korea will be better. Problem my eyes. So sit tight. We'll be back soon, and hopefully it won't take too long. But once again, get the picnic baskets out. We're going on a panic, and we'll see you soon.